Wynnere and Wastoure. Here begins a treatise, a good short debate between Wynnere and Wastoure. Since Britain was built and Brutus it owned, through the taking of Troy by treason within, strange wonders have been seen in sundry kings' times, but never so many as now by 9 parts. For now all is wit and wiles that we deal in, wise words and slyness, and each one twists others. No Western man while this world lasts would dare send his son southward to see or to hear, but he shall be held back when he grows old. Therefore was a saying of Solomon the wise, it comes hard at hand, I hope not otherwise, when waves shall grow wild and walls fall down, and hares on the hearthstone shall crouch in their form, and boys of the blood with boasting and pride shall wed ladies in the land and lead them at will. Then dreadful doomsday draws near after. Part 1. But whoever will somberly look and tell truth, say it newly comes near or is near already. Once were lords in the land who loved in their hearts to hear makers of mirth who could find out matters, and now is no friendship in company, but faintness of heart. Wise words within that were never wrought, nor read in any romance that ever man heard, but now a child at court without chin hairs, who never worked through wit these words together. From when he can chatter like a jay and tell jests, he shall be believed and beloved and listened to a while. But nevertheless, at the last, when people are known, work and witness will show who can work best. But I shall tell you a tale that once befell me, as I went in the west wandering alone. By a bank of a brook bright was the sun, under a worthy wood by a wide meadow, many flowers unfolded where my foot stepped. I laid my head on a hill beside a hawthorn. The thrushes full loudly they argued together. Woodpeckers hopped high from hazel to other. Barnacles with their bills on branches they ran. The jay jangled on high. The birds chatted loud. The brook full briskly ran between the banks. So rough were the racing streams, and reached so high that it was nearly night before I might nap, for din of the deep water and dawdling of fowls. But as I lay at last, then closed my eyes, and I was swiftly in a dream swept away. Methought I was in the world, I knew not what end, on a lovely land that was alike green, that lay locked by a law the length of a mile. In either wood was an army of hauberks full bright, hard hats on heads and helmets with crests. They spread out their banners ready to meet, shot out of the woods in squadrons they fell. And but the length of the lawn were these lords between, and all prayed for peace till the prince should come, for he was worthier in wit than any man else, to ride and to read and to rule the wrath that either host in hate had towards the other. At the crest of a cliff a cabin was raised, all railed with red, the roof and the sides, with English bezants full bright, beaten of gold, and each one gaily begirt with garters of silk, and each garter of gold adorned full richly. Then were there words in the web woven of hue, painted in blue with points between, that were formed full fair in fresh letters, and all was one saying in the English tongue, shame be to the hero that any harm thinks. Now the king of this country, may our Lord keep him, upon high on the hill a hero stood, worked like a wood wight, all in twisted locks, with a helm on his head, a hat above, and high on the hat a hateful beast, a lithe leopard, long looking full keen, worked all of yellow gold in splendid fashion. But that which covered the helm behind at the neck was cast full cleanly in quarters four, two with flowers of France before and behind, and two out of England with 6 grim beasts, 3 leopards above and 3 below, at each corner a knob of full clean pearl, tasselled with fine silk streaming out fair. And by the cabin I knew the knight that I saw, and thought to learn before I went wonders enough. And as I waited within, I soon was aware of a comely king crowned with gold, set on a silken bench with sceptre in hand, and one of the loveliest ladies who ever loved him in heart, that ever man under sun saw with his eyes. This king was comely clad, kirtle and mantle, berry brown was his beard, embroidered with birds, falcons of fine gold, fluttering with wings. And each one bore, as it seemed to me, a great garter of silk adorned full rich. Full gaily was that great lord girded at middle, a bright belt of blue embroidered with fowl, with drakes and with ducks, dreading it seemed, for fear of the falcons' feet. Less fain were they, and ever I said to myself, full strange it seems, unless this man rides to the river around. The king bids a baron by him that stands, one of the boldest fellows that failed him never. Think how I dubbed the knight with blows to deal. Go swiftly your way, my fellow, to declare. Go bid those bold battalions that on the plain stand, that they come never nearer together. For if they strike one stroke, they will never stop. Yes, Lord, said the man, while my life lasts. He went down the bank and dwelled a while he armed and made ready in the best way. He laced his legs in iron on the low bones, with cuirass and paunch polished full clean, with plates buckled at the back to guard the body, with a jupon full just joined at the side, a broad back piece behind, the breast had another, 3 wings within wrought in the kind, girt round with a gold wire. When I knew that man, why, he was youngest in years, and sharpest of wit, that any man in this world knew of his age. He broke a branch in his hand and caught it swiftly, trots on a great pace, and takes his way where both these armed hosts in the field stood. Said lo, the king of this land, may our Lord keep him, sends a message by me at best him likes, that no baron be so bold on both his 2 eyes, once to strike one stroke, nor stir any nearer, to lead riot in his realm, so royal to think, proudly with your powers his peace to disturb. For this is the custom here, and ever shall be, if any baron be so bold with banner to ride, within the rich kingdom but the king alone, he shall lose the land and his life after. But since you know not this land nor the rich king, he will forgive you this guilt of his grace alone. Full wide have I walked among these warriors all, but never saw such a sight, man, with my eyes. For here is all the folk of France gathered beside, of Lorraine, of Lombardy, and of fair Spain, men of West Wales that dwell within, of England, of Ireland, Easterlings many, that are stuffed in steel, strokes to deal, and yonder a banner of black that on the field stands, with 3 balls of blue, white embroidered within, and each one has a hem, a hanging cord, sealed with a sad lead. I say as I think, that head is of Holy Church. I hope he be there, all fierce to the fight with the folk that he leads. Another banner is raised with a band of green, with 3 heads white-haired, with a hood above. curved full craftily and combed at the neck. These are the lords of this land that should our laws keep, that think to deal this day with blows full many. I hold him but a fool that fights while speech may help, when he has found his friend that failed him never. The third banner on the field is of blue-white hue, with 6 gallows I see of sable within, and each one has a brown brace with 2 buckles. These are St. Francis's folk, who say all shall die. They are so fierce and so fresh, though they seldom fight. I know well for winning they went from home. His purse weighed full well that brought them all hither. The 4th banner on the field was raised up high, with both the borders of black, a ball in the middle, right like the sun in the summer-time, when it has most of its might on Midsummer Eve. That was Dominic this day, with blows to deal. With many a blazing baron his banner is filled, and since the Pope is so ready these preachers to help, and Frenchmen with his folk are forced beside, and all the lords of the land are led through wit, there is no man on earth to match against them, nor win any grace on ground under God himself. And yet the 5th on the field is the fairest of them all, a bright banner of blue-white with 3 boar heads. By any craft that I know, Carmelites they seemed, for they are the order that love Our Lady to serve. If I should say the truth, it seems none other, but that the friars with other folk shall the field win. The 6th is of sendal, and so are they all, white as the whale's bone, whoever tells truth, with belts of black buckled together, the points parred off with pendant away, and all the leather above that below hangs, shines from the sharpening of the shaving iron. The order of the Austin friars, for aught that I guess, for by a blush of the belt the banner I knew, and other signs I saw set up on high, some tokens of war, some of wine tuns, some of merchants' marks, so many and so thick that I know not in my wit, for all this rich world, what man under the sun could reckon the sum. And surely on the other side are stern men at arms, bold squires of blood, many bowmen, that if they strike one stroke they will not stop, till either host on the heath be hewed to death. Therefore I bid you both who were brought here, that you go with me, ere any ruin falls, to our comely King who owns this land, and when he knows truly where the wrong lies, there shall be no man be wroth to act as he deems. From either host there rode out a knight, as I thought, knights full comely on coursers attired, and said, Sir Messenger, good fortune befall you. Well we know the King, he clothes us both, and he fostered and fed us these 25 winters. Now ride you before, and we shall follow after. And now are their girdles raised, and they are on their way. They light down on the lawn and leave their steeds, climb up the cliff and fall on their knees. The King takes them by the hands and bids them rise, and says, Welcome, heroes, as men of our house both. The King looked around and asked for wine. Barons brought it at once in bowls of silver. Methought I drank so deeply it stung both my eyes. And he who wishes to know more of this work, freshly and swiftly, for here a part ends.